Haribo Prabhuji, Haribo, please. Vanchakapatruvyas cha, Kripa Sindhu cha, Patitanam Bhavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Please accept my most humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. My name is Jadavacharya. I am your god brother. I was initiated by Srila Prabhupada in 1971. You may know my brother Rasa Pariyan. I've been watching some of the programs that you're making about chanting the holy name and japa classes, which I find very inspiring as well as informative. And I would like to relate some of the experiences that I've had. Presently I'm living in Youngstown, Ohio, which is nowhere close to a temple. There's one in Cleveland. But even at that, there are no devotees in the immediate vicinity. By Krishna's mercy, after suffering for so many years, I finally realized that in order to be able to save my Krishna consciousness, that it would be necessary for me to learn and to begin to chant my 16 rounds, as Prabhupada had stated. I didn't have any other choice because without me doing what was necessary, it wasn't going to get done. There was no other association to be able to encourage me thus. But of course, Prabhupada left us all of his information, all of his knowledge, all of his books, and he somehow or another, by having had my experience of having gone to Vrindavan in 2005 and 2006, helped to revitalize my Krishna consciousness, which was due to the mercy of Gopal Bhatta Prabhu, who was kind enough to be able to help me to get to Vrindavan. But once I came back, I spent some time driving a truck, which was not really my profession. By profession, I'm a technical writer, but I had to do what was necessary. And while I was riding in the truck and driving every day, I would listen to Prabhupada's lectures. And eventually I listened to over almost 2,000 of Prabhupada's lectures. And one of the things that I learned from that experience was that everything that we need to know, Prabhupada has given us. And now it's time to practice. So I would say in the last year or so, I was unemployed. I didn't know what else to do. I've been sitting at home, and I realized, Jadavacharya, this is a prime opportunity for you to engage in developing your Krishna consciousness, and you need to begin to chant seriously. And actually I had developed some videos, which were nice videos of the deities in Vrindavan and different pictures of Krishna. I had originally created a CD called Chanting the Holy Name several years ago, and it had over 2,000 pictures in it. And I would watch the pictures and use them as aids when you were chanting. Naturally, you want to be able to focus on the deities and Prabhupada and Krishna, and this was also there. But one of the things that I've learned, and I would like to, the purpose of this whole video is to give you a little example of what I have been able to learn and have used in order to be able to help develop my Krishna consciousness and to, in some ways, humbly I must say, make my chanting better. And one of the things that I've learned is by chanting and reading, not just simply reading the text as reading, but you know how when you're chanting and you're meditating and you're really getting into it, you close your eyes and Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Well, one of the things I've learned is that if I would keep a, number one is have the video, I have the japa tape of Srila Prabhupada in the background, exactly following Prabhupada and helping to be able to properly pronounce the holy name and to say the holy name. Prabhupada says it very quickly, but it also is, if we can learn how to be able to say it just as nicely, is to our benefit. And the other thing is that I'll take the Krishna book, for example, or Bhagavad Gita, or in the examples that I'll give you later, the Adi Leela, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, and just open the book and be able to, when the mind begins to wander, which it will do, at least in my case, is guaranteed that it will wander, is to be able to take a few minutes, or to, even while chanting, read the verse, read some of the purports, read some of the text, and just simply that helps to be able to focus the mind back onto something spiritual and transcendental. Because even though we're chanting, and because we're not that advanced, at least I'm not that advanced, my mind will tend to wander every few minutes. But by reading, or by having the book open and looking at not just the pictures, but by hearing, looking at the text, it begins to help me focus back on. And I have learned so much in the last couple of months, particularly by this method. I know there are a lot of devotees, and I'm starting to realize that there is, I would say, a lack of information about proper chanting, because Prabhupada, he was so busy doing everything else, he didn't focus. He told us to chant, but the how and the so forth, I guess maybe that's something that we've had to learn to develop through our own desire, because gradually I'm starting to see more devotees. As a matter of fact, I had heard that there were some japa seminars going on, but I didn't realize who was in charge or who was doing them. But I'm very encouraged when I saw it, because I realized Krishna is giving us, all of us, meaning Prabhupada's older disciples, the realizations as time is passing, that we have so many more days or hours or years left, and we should utilize them more properly in order to be able to advance our Krishna consciousness. So one of the ways, of course, is to be able to chant, and to chant purely. So presently I'm working on the Adi Leela. I've already done chapters 1 and 2 and 3, and I'm working on chapters 4, and I'm also working on the Sri Bhajana Rahasya. These will eventually be more available on the internet. I will, along with this video, I will also attach the links that you can go to. If you go to YouTube and look on, and just simply type in Jadavacharya, and underneath of Jadavacharya, you'll see the links for the chanting of the Adi Leela. And these videos actually, and the reason is that most of the devotees are computer literate, and they use the laptops continuously. And if you make these videos and use them for part of your japa meditation, is very, very helpful. At least for someone like me, it's very, very helpful. So again, I would like to recommend these. Please take a look at them and give me your feedback and tell me what you think. If you see something that should be added or taken away, or maybe there's always room for improvement, I will more be delighted to receive any replies to this video. So again, Prabhu, thank you ever so much for your enthusiastic desire to be able to help the devotees, to be able to learn to chant, because technically that's what everything about Krishna consciousness is really all about, is the chanting of the holy name. Hopefully one day we'll be able to chant the holy name perfectly, and that would be very satisfying to Srila Prabhupada, because that's all he ever asked us to do in the first place, was to simply chant Hare Krishna. So again, thank you, Prabhu. Again, please accept my most humble obeisances, and all glories to Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.